Welcome to my backyard garden. Today I'm going to make a comparison between Roundup and a homemade weed killer. The backstory on this is that my Colorado blue spruce has needle cast, and it's a disease that kills the needles and eventually will kill the tree. And so I've had that treated, but one of the things that you can do to help reduce the spread of this disease on the tree is to first remove the dead branches and remove all the mulch and the needles that have dropped underneath the tree. So a few weeks ago I raked out all the mulch that I had under the tree and containing all the needles, and it was just bare dirt, and this is the result. So all these weeds have grown up and I got to spray them with something. So Roundup is pretty expensive and this homemade weed killer isn't. So I'm going to try these. We'll do a side-by-side comparison and see which one works best. Okay, so I already mixed up my homemade stuff, put it in my sprayer, and I'm going to lay it down the same way as I always have done with Roundup. All right, time for the Roundup. I'm going to use a spray bottle. I don't have my gallon and a half sprayer anymore. It kind of wore out, didn't spray as good, so I just bought this real quick just to use for this video. Okay, that's done. We're going to come back tomorrow and see how it worked. Alright, so the next day, a little over 24 hours, and you can see this is the homemade solution. This stuff up close here, the small stuff, you can see it's turning brown, starting to die off. That's starting to wilt back there a little bit maybe. Right there, that one's wilting. So it's been my experience, see all that's dying out over there along the edge. Been my experience if the larger plants take a little bit longer to be killed off. Here's the Roundup side. You can see that's maybe not quite as effective as the homemade stuff. I mean, the short stuff right in here is starting to die, but it's not as effective, doesn't look as bad as the other side. So I'm going to give it another day because this green stuff, these taller stuff, this is going to take several days. And look at the size of that one back in there. Boy, those things really grow. So we'll come back tomorrow and see how it has progressed. All right, it's day 3 and there's still some dying going on. Looks like underneath the branches they're not dying as well, but everything that's out in the open right down here along the edges, that's died off really well. So I'm gonna have to probably hit that again maybe. And under there, I think the tree branches got in the way. Now this was the homemade stuff on this side, and there's again, it looks like the branches were in the way and protecting the plants, and nothing's going on in there really with those plants. So, and there's some death going on around in here, but I'm going to say that that homemade stuff has done a better job of killing than this Roundup here. You can see some of that's turning brown, but it's not, doesn't look to be as effective. Except for these taller ones are starting to die off a little bit faster than the homemade. So that's about it. I think you can probably draw your own conclusions on that, but I would say the homemade is at least as effective as the Roundup. And then I'm going to put some pricing comparisons on there. I'm going to tell you the homemade is going to be a lot less expensive than the Roundup itself. Hey, hope that was helpful. If you like it, give it a like. Leave your comments and questions below as always. Subscribe to my channel if you would. And pound that bell to get notified of my future videos. Back soon with more stuff. Bye-bye.